Today I'm letting you in on a little secret. The secret is this bench, this ugly bench that's surrounded by litter. This bench changed my life, and it helped to change the lives of thousands of other artists. So here's the story. I was living in this small English country town, and I was working in London at a mega gallery. One day the gallery went bankrupt. They owed me a ton of money, and I realized that I was going to have to declare bankruptcy too. At the same time, I got a message that Bill Jay, my most trusted mentor, my bestest friend, had passed away. And I couldn't ask him for advice anymore. Out of the blue, a friend called, and I was telling him about my troubles. And he said, "Why don't you teach? Why don't you teach artists about the business of art? You've done everything in the art world. You fly a great big airplane with a flag that says art behind it. And why don't you share others? Why don't you share with others what you've learned?" I still have the piece of paper where I wrote that down because I couldn't quite imagine what it would look like at the time. So, because I lived in this English country town, there's all these beautiful country walks outside of the town, into the forest, into country paths, farms, and every day I would take these long walks. But now, every day on my way home, I would stop at this crappy bench because my head was so full of ideas for what would become the working artist. This is where I sat and wrote everything. I'd sit here for hours, writing down all my ideas, organizing all of my thoughts, putting it together. I wish I could tell you that I did it like that. It took a long time, but it was almost out of time. It was a magical time. You know what it's like when you're creating something, when you're in the flow, when you're really excited about it? That's what this was. So, why am I here? Well, I'm actually creating something new again. I'm creating retreats and mastermind groups and coaching programs. And I'm a little bit I'm not overwhelmed by it, but it's a really big project. And I want to do it well. And I want to do it from a place of my greatest inspiration. So where better to go than back to this little country town, to take my long walks and to stop here at this crappy bench and to write down all my ideas again and to let it flow and to listen to what the muse is telling me so that I can share it with you. I'm going to show you my view from the bench because it's probably more important than the bench. It's a pitch. It's a country grounds where families would picnic or kids would play soccer, football, cricket, whatever. Sometimes I'd be here all on my own, like today, and other days it would be just full of people. It didn't matter. And I guess maybe the place doesn't really matter either, because the real place I was always going to when I came here was inside of me. So welcome to my secret place.